Yo, what's good, guys? Another video here. Today we got something a little different. We got top 25 places to visit in Norway. So let's run it. Honestly, this just popped up on my recommended.
What's
and
up,
I'm
guys?
like, why
my
not?
name is Ryan, and I recently returned from exploring the beautiful country of Norway, and I want to share with you my favorite places. So here's my.
Okay, can we talk about how fucking sick the landscape looks?
What's up, guys? My name is Ryan, and I recently returned from exploring the beautiful country of.
Look at that cliff. Hey, Norwegians, tell me, y'all ever go cliff diving?
Norway, and I.
Am I like the one crazy motherfucker who wants to just jump off that cliff? Probably.
I want to share with you my favorite places. So here's my Norway top 25.
I'd probably die, but like, if I don't, it would be fun. Just saying.
Norway has to be one of my all-time favorite countries. From the jaw-dropping fjords of western Norway to the sea mountains of Lofoten, Norway offers some of the world's most unique landscapes.
Wait, yo, that's real? Bro, that don't even look real. That looks fake. Yo.
I mean, I just can't get enough of this country. Now let's start this video off at Geirangerfjord. Now located about a 6-hour drive from Oslo, Geirangerfjord is one of Norway's most popular destinations. The fjord is over 260 meters deep and surrounded by massive mountains. Now one of the most spectacular features of the fjord is the Seven Sisters waterfall. It consists of 7 separate streams that descend 410 meters to the water below. The best way to see the fjord is by boat. Some people arrive by cruise ship, but you can also take a ferry or tour boat to show you around. This is by far the best way to witness the waterfalls and majesty of the fjord. Now the main reason I wanted to go to Geirangerfjord was to visit Skagafla. It's this historic farm built on a cliff 270 meters above the fjord. Now you can only access the hike by taking a ferry over. It cost about $50 per person, and the ride had some amazing views. Now when we got off the boat, the hike was no joke. It just goes straight up the mountain where you get some amazing views on your way up. When you reach the farm, you'll feel like you're in a fairy tale. The cabins are covered in moss-covered roofs, and the views you get up there are just astounding.
Yo, that view is crazy.
Just jealous of whoever owns those cabins. Farmers used to live here all the way back in the Middle Ages, and it was inhabited until the early 1900s. Back when it was a farm, it could support over 100 animals. Now due to its location, it was a somewhat dangerous spot due to avalanches and rock slides, and also the remoteness of it.
So like, are these the original cabins then? Because if so, that's insane that they're like still up. I guess they'd have to be maintained, I guess, like.
Made a tricky place for agriculture.
I'm just curious, like, are those the legit cabins from the Middle Ages, or is it like those are like remakes? Because
farmers made it work. Today is easily one of Norway's most beautiful hikes and one of my favorite places I visited during my time in Norway. Now afterwards we're going to take a drive on the Geirangervegen. If you're driving south out of Geirangervegen,
I don't think I'll ever be able to like properly say these words, and if I do, I guarantee you I won't be able to, like, without hearing somebody say it right beforehand.
Fjord, you have to take this road. It's this mountain pass with so many amazing spots. Now one of the first places I came across was this set of mountain cabins right next to some waterfall. It looked like it could be a movie set for a fantasy film. Now as you keep driving up the road, you'll come across this unique landscape with exposed rock and hardly any vegetation. The road just winds through the scenery, and it's such a beautiful drive. I love the lakes that were up there. One was called Juvatnet, and it had this dark blue color with an impressive mountain backdrop. And then down the road was Langvatnet, which had some towering mountain walls. I mean, on the drive there's just so many cool lookout spots. One of the most impressive is the Geiranger Skywalk. It's the highest ford view in Norway and costs about $25 to access. Now after we're going to head to street and lookout spots. One of the most impressive is the...
That's insane! Like, that looks like that looks fake. That straight up looks fake to me. Ain't no way.
Geiranger Skywalk.
Alright, hey yo. I gotta visit this place one day.
It's
That's
the highest
crazy.
point view in Norway and costs about $25 to
That is
access.
crazy.
Now, after we're going to head to Stryn. Now, it's about an hour-and-a-half drive from Geiranger. We stayed here several days, and it's this beautiful village with this serpentine river that winds through the valley. What's great about Stryn is that it's close to so many places.
Look at the
One
water.
of my
Look how
favorites
clear
is
the
Lofoten.
water is.
It's located just 20 minutes from Stryn, and it's this glacier lake with a distinct turquoise water and has an incredible backdrop of the mountains. Now, when we were there, we drove to the other side of the lake to this place called Loen. Now, there was this insane waterfall called Romsdalen. Now,
okay, first of all, what?
Backdrop of the mountains. Now, when we were there, we drove to the other side of the lake to this place called Loen. Now, there was this insane waterfall called Romsdalen.
That was Romsdalen. That's not even okay. Whatever. I ain't even getting into like how impossible that seems to pronounce.
Easily one of my favorites that I saw in my time in Norway. Now, while Lofoten is stunningly beautiful, the lake has had its fair share of tragedies over the last few centuries from landslides. Now, right next to that waterfall I was talking about, in 1905, a massive rock from the Geirangerfjord mountain came loose and fell 500 meters where it hit the water, and it caused a tidal wave that wiped out some villages completely off the map. Despite this history, Lofoten is a place you gotta visit. It's hard to match the beauty of this Norwegian lake. Now,
Imagine living in like a crazy ass house with, like that kind of view. You can't tell me that's not like a life goal for people, bro. Imagine having that kind of like view just in your backyard. That's insane.
Vatnet is another glacier lake called Vatnet. Now, I thought this area was incredibly beautiful. I love driving around the lake's edge. Now, if you go to the very end, there's some impressive glaciers and waterfalls. There was this waterfall called Vollefossen that I thought was so impressive, and you can also hike to this glacier called Brikstelbreen. It's about a 5-kilometer round-trip hike.
See, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I want no part of no glaciers, man. That's the last thing I need is like my fat ass to step on the glacier and the thing just start melting. I just go down like a fatal water slide. Like, I am good. Listen. I will admire the glaciers from a distance. I want no part of getting wiped out by a glacier.
And on the way, you'll experience waterfalls and incredible views of the Briksdals Glacier. Now, afterwards, we're going to visit this mountain called Geirangervegen. Now, it's located about an hour's drive from Stryn, and it's this perfectly shaped mountain peak. It kind of reminded me of the Matterhorn. We went to this lake at the base of the mountain called Bergen. I just had a great time chilling on the shore and marveling at the mountain. If it's not too windy, the lake gives off a perfect reflection of the peak. I mean,
so here's the question, though. Here's the real question. To all the locals who may watch this video, what's the fishing like out there? That's the important question here, right? He's showing the beauty, and that's awesome, right? I'm like, I don't even think half this shit is real, but like, what's the fishing like? Like, how much do y'all have a lot of fishing? Oh, I mean, I'm sure you do, but like, what kind of fish is out there?
A lovely spot. Now, afterwards, we're going to visit Romsdalen. Now, when I got to Norway this summer, this was the first place I went. It's about a 5-hour drive to get there from Oslo, and it's this phenomenal valley surrounded by some of Europe's highest cliffs. I mean, just like unbelievable how massive and sheer the mountain walls are. Now, another thing about Romsdalen was the amount of waterfalls. It's home to some of the tallest waterfalls, not just in Norway, but in the world. The waterfall called Mongefossen is the 4th highest single drop waterfall in the world with a height of 773 meters. There's just waterfalls everywhere you look and a pristine river that runs through the whole valley. Now, one reason I wanted to come here was to witness Trolltunga.
Look at the look at the clouds. Dude, that's insane. Look at the clouds!
It's the tallest vertical rock face in all of Europe with a height of 1,700 meters. Now, one of the best places to view Trolltunga is from Litlefella or Little Mountain. Now, to get there, you take a toll road that costs about $10, and it's a fairly easy hike that takes about 20 minutes. Now, when you're up top, you'll be facing the daunting Trolltunga mountain across the valley. When I was there, it was pretty cloudy, but I still got a good look at it. Now, aside from Trolltunga, there's so many amazing views from the top.
I'm not gonna lie though, I think the clouds make it cooler. What do y'all think? Right? I think like the clouds where like you can still see the mountain, but it's kind of hidden by the clouds. I don't know. I feel like that makes it even more cool. Cause that's crazy.
daunting
Look at
Trollstigen
that.
mountain across the valley. When I was there, it was pretty cloudy, but I still got a good look at it. Now, aside from Trollstigen, there's so many amazing views from the top, such as the Romsdalen Peak, which is one of the most uniquely shaped mountains I've ever seen. You also get great views of the
Okay,
winding
nah,
river.
that's crazy. Nah, that's crazy. Look at that shit. That is insane. You're telling me, bro? It's got like, what? Look at the river running through. It's got the mountains with the clouds in the back. You're telling me that's not crazy? You telling me this is real? There ain't no way. Zero chance. No, zero chance. Outside of the fact it actually is real. But you know, we're not talking about that. No.
And valley below. I mean, this place is just freaking amazing. If you come up for sunrise, you'll get a great view of Trollstigen as the sun hits the cliffs. Overall, one of my favorite places I visited in Norway. While we're still on the topic,
Honestly, just saying that you've been here is a flex. Like, straight up. Just say, like, the fact this guy can say he's been to all these places is a flex. Like, like, I can never argue with this guy. Like me and him get into an argument, and he's like, yeah, but I've been to all these sick places. I just gotta shut up. Like, I lose by default.
pick a Trolls. We'll go take a drive on the
That's
Trolls
crazy.
Path, or Trollstigen. Now, it's located just 20 minutes from Trollvegen. This is possibly the most famous road in all of Norway. It has 11 hairpin turns as it scales
No,
up the
okay,
mountain with a
screw
10%
that.
incline. It was
Nah, listen, I'm sorry. My dumb ass go right off the... I'd be trying to pull, like, think I'm fast and furious, be trying to pull, like, some crazy drifts and fall right off the cliff. Nope, I'm far too stupid to be trusted on this road. Hell no. Hell no. I'd be trying to, like, ring! Like, I'd be thinking this is, like, Forza Horizon. Like, no, man.
in 1936 after taking 8 years to build. I thought driving on it would be a little sketchy, but it wasn't too bad except when you're passing a bus or two. Now, one thing I love about Trollstigen...
See, for, like, smart people who have, like, fear of death and doesn't let, like, the adrenaline junkie in them, yeah, they'd probably be fine. But I feel like I enjoy the adrenaline too much. I would be doing stupid shit. I would get my dumb ass killed. Listen, if I ever manage to get to this place, don't let me drive. All I'm saying. I know I'm too much of an idiot. I don't have enough fear, and I will get myself fucking killed.
Waterfalls. There are two of them. My favorites was Stigfossen. It's 320 meters high and it has this arch bridge that passes
That's
over
sweet.
it. Now on top of Trollstigen, there's this really cool visitor center and a lookout point. It's just like a short 5-minute walk and you'll be able to get panoramic views of the road and all its turns. It was
These
really
drone
cloudy when I
shots
was
are
there, but that just
sick.
added to the magic of the location. Norway sure knows how to make good roads. Now, another one of Norway's most famous drives is the Atlantic Ocean Road. Now, the 8.3 kilometer road runs over an archipelago of islands.
Nah, I'm
with
not gonna lie. I'm a dumbass.
good roads. Now,
I didn't... Okay, for a second. I didn't see, like, the pillar here. So I was just like, how do they have no support for this road? I was bamboozled for a minute. But, okay,
Another
I
one
see
in
the pillars. This makes sense. I thought this shit was just floating. I was like, how?
Norway's most famous drives is the Atlantic Ocean Road.
This
now,
would
the
be fun.
8.3 kilometer road runs over an archipelago of islands. The Atlantic Ocean Road was completed
This
in
would be cool to drive on.
1989. It's made up of 8 bridges and 4 resting places and viewpoints. The route is an impressive feat in engineering and it won the Norwegian Construction of the Century Award. So if you decide to do a Norway road trip, you have to take a drive on this scenic
this would be
road.
cool. I want
Afterwards,
to drive
we're going
through
to
this.
head
This would
down
be
to
cool.
southern Norway to Lysebanen to drive down another Norwegian road. Now, Lysebanen
Okay, I want to know how long was this dude in Norway? Because, like, he's gone to all these places. He could not have been there long enough to truly enjoy it. Like, I feel like even one of these destinations is, like, a crazy vacation on its own. Nah, this dude...
is this small village that's about a 3-hour drive from Stavanger. Now, what I think is so scenic...
Okay. Y'all telling me this is real. Look at that.
About Lysebanen is the road that leads down to it. Now, when I first saw pictures of it, I just couldn't believe it. It consists of 27 hairpin turns that descend down the fjord to the village below. When you're at the bottom, you'll be amazed by the surrounding walls of the fjord. Now, after we're going to head over to the nearby pulpit.
Yeah, I'd have the same issue with that road. It'd be so fun to drive down, but, like, I don't have the skills that my brain wishes I had to like drive down this road without certain death in the way I would want to. Like, but listen, if I ever go to Norway, nobody can let me drive because I would. If I don't die, we will have the time of our lives, but I can't guarantee that.
Rock. Located in the same fjord as Lisebanen, Pulpit Rock is a famous flat-top cliff with a straight drop of over 600 meters. To get there, you can park in the base camp and make a 6-kilometer hike. The rock can get super packed, so if you want to avoid the crowds, wake up early and get to the rock to enjoy the sunrise. Now after
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I'd want to be on a rock with that many people on it. Like, all it takes is one person to trip on you, and if you're close to the edge, you're fucked. Like, there ain't no surviving that.
To the iconic Trolltunga. Now located about a 6-hour drive from Oslo, Trolltunga is possibly the most famous rock.
Nah, time out. Imagine parachuting. Imagine if, like, yo, I pray somebody who parachutes, like, watches this. I want to know how many people, like, parachute off, because that looks like a straight diving board. That would be so cool to parachute off of. Well, and it's okay. Anyway,
in Norway, as it shoots out over 2,000 feet in the lake below.
So cool.
Trolltunga is definitely one of the hardest hikes you'll ever do. It's a 28-kilometer round-trip trek that.
How many miles is 28 kilometers? Because I don't know, like, kilometers to miles, like, the difference.
Takes anywhere from 8 to 12 hours to do. While it is extremely strenuous, it's hard to beat the views of Trolltunga. Afterwards, we're going to visit some of Norway's most beautiful cities, starting with Bergen. Located on Norway's southwest coast, surrounded by fjords, Bergen is one of Norway's most charming cities. Bergen was founded back in 1070 thanks to its maritime trade domination. Bergen was the largest city in Norway until the 1830s. Today, it's famous for its colorful wooden houses on the old wharf. You can hike the Loen mountain.
Okay, listen. This is no disrespect to the city, but, like, he should have shown this first. I'm sorry. Like, the city is cool. The city is very pretty, but, like, after those mountain views, it don't. Like, he should have showed the city, so, like, I could have appreciated the city before just being wowed by the mountains, because it's not. And it's no way of, like, it's an ugly city or anything like that, but it's just, like, the landscapes are so crazy. It don't even do it justice. Like, the city's cool, but it's like, I want to see more of these landscapes.
Amazing panoramic views of the city. After Bergen, we're going to visit Ålesund. Now located about a 7-hour drive from Bergen, Ålesund is one of Norway's most prominent fishing towns, built on a uniquely shaped archipelago. Similar to Bergen, it's home to beautifully colored buildings perched right against the ocean. Now to get one of the best views of the city, you can go up to the Byrampen viewpoint or Mount Askell lookouts. Both to Bergen, it's home to beautifully colored buildings perched right against the ocean. Now to get one of the best.
Yo! Look at that! That's sick! The lights of the city too makes, like, okay, nah, that's sick. That's like a background. I would make that the background on my computer. That's sick.
Views of the city, you can go up to the Byrampen viewpoint or Mount Askell lookouts. Both will give you incredible panoramic views of the fjord and archipelago. If you go to Ålesund during the winter months, you might be lucky and witness the stunning aurora borealis as it dances across the Norwegian sky. After, we're going to visit Norway's capital, Oslo. Located on Norway's southern coast, Oslo was founded at the end of the Viking Age during the 11th century. Today, Oslo is one of Europe's fastest growing cities. I love all the modern buildings and museums throughout the city. The Oslo Opera House is an impressive piece of architecture that resembles an iceberg. It was completed in 2007 and features slanted marble and granite that slide down to the water. After Oslo,
now listen, okay, the cities are very pretty, but respectfully, they should have had him first. He did this video wrong. Like, he should have had the cities, because, like, the cities are really, like, they are not ugly cities by any means, but, like, I'm sorry, at least for me, I am more impressed by the mountains and, like, the crazy views and lakes than I would be by any city any man can make. Like, the natural, like, earth to me is way cooler than, like, anything that mankind could make.
Head up to northern Norway to visit Tromsø.
So, again, to be clear, because I don't need a bunch of Norwegians thinking I'm insulting their cities. It's not like that. Matter of fact, you should take this as a compliment because I'm saying that's how cool your country is. But like,
When you
dude,
look at Tromsø on a map, it's wild to see how high up it is. It's the northernmost city in the
Oh,
world with a
hell.
population over 20,000 people.
I could not
Tromsø
live
and the
there.
area around it is one of the best places in the
That's
world
too
to
cold.
witness the northern lights. Now from Tromsø,
with how high it is, bro, that's got to be way too cold. I'm sorry, this is coming from someone who lives in a cold climate. Like, nah.
there's a lot of cool places you can visit.
It's
You can go to the Lingen Alps, which are about an hour and a half away, and hike to the crystal
Okay,
clear
see, that's
Lofoten Lake. Now one interesting place
Look at the cliff.
in
Yo.
northern Norway is Nordkapp, or the North Cape. It's the northernmost point in continental Europe and stands upon a 370-meter cliff that dives into the sea. Now to get there, you can make the 9-hour drive from Tromsø, or you could also fly into Honningsvåg or the Alta airports. It's a journey to get there, but it sure is worth it. After, we're going to cross the Barents Sea to visit the world's northernmost inhabited area, Svalbard. Located right between the North Pole and Norway lies this Arctic archipelago. Now the capital of Svalbard is this town called Longyearbyen, which has a population of 2,000 people. Now what's cool about Svalbard is that it's a visa-free zone, so basically anyone can move and work there. The biggest danger on Svalbard is the Arctic cold and polar bears. And some
no shit. Yeah, no, I'm not. I will no. Like that's too cold for me. Like,
places you require
I understand that Norway is like a cold place in general, but like the second we start hitting Arctic temps, I'm out. Like I'm past. I'm good. Screw that.
to bring a gun to protect yourself from them, so that's pretty wild. You can move and work
What'd it
there.
say?
The biggest danger on Svalbard is the Arctic cold and polar bears. In some places you're required to bring a gun to protect yourself from them, so that's pretty wild.
Damn, that's crazy. Shit.
Now after, we're going to head back to mainland Norway to visit the iconic Lofoten Islands. Now Lofoten
okay,
is located
look at that.
to bring a
Look
gun
at that.
to protect yourself from them, so that's pretty wild.
That's
Now,
crazy. Like, look at that picture. Look, like this is what I'm talking about, right? Like, you can't show all kinds of things like this and then show this. Like, you have to show the cities first, man, because that way, I'm thinking like after seeing all those pictures, then it shows me the cities. Is like, no, I want more of this. Like, the city is cool, but we can do that another day. I want to see this.
After, we're going to
Like,
head
look
back
at
to
that.
mainland Norway to visit the iconic Lofoten Islands.
That's
now,
sweet.
Lofoten is located in northern Norway, and even though it is in the Arctic Circle, it feels like you're on a tropical island. I was lucky
How
enough to
cold
go
does
there a
it
few
get?
summers ago and just had an incredible journey road
Yeah,
trip
because I was about to say, like, that does not look like a place that gets very cold at all. Like, how cold
in
does it
northern
actually
Norway,
get?
and even though it is in the Arctic Circle, it feels
Because it's in the Arctic Circle, so it has to be cold as fuck. But like,
like you're on a tropical island. I was lucky enough to go there a few summers ago and just had an incredible journey road tripping through the islands. Our
That's
first pit stop
sweet.
was at this little fishing village called Henningsvjar. Henningsvjar is home to the world's most scenic soccer field. When we got there, we sadly didn't have a ball, but we had a good time playing on the field and enjoying the incredible views of Henningsvjar. We kept driving and made it to the iconic town of Rhine. Now when you think of Norway, this is it. It has those red houses surrounded by massive sea mountains. I'd have to say this is the most beautiful town in Lofoten. Now when I was planning my road trip to Norway, I remember just seeing pictures of this place and I couldn't believe it existed. If you want to do an amazing hike, I recommend hiking to
look at that shit. What the hell? Look at that, bruh.
Valika
This looks like shit's like fake.
Beach. It's about a 4-kilometer round trip trek, and I promise it's worth it when you
Nah.
this place, and I couldn't believe it existed. If you want to do an amazing hike, I recommend hiking to Kvalika Beach. It's about a 4-kilometer.
Dude, come on now. Seriously? Come. For real? The lighting on this, it makes it even more cool.
round trip trek, and
Like, what the hell?
I promise it's worth it. When you get to the beach, you're going to be amazed by the landscape. It has mountains that remind me of Switzerland, an ocean that looks like the Caribbean, and it's green as a tropical island. I mean, I just can't believe places like this exist, especially in the Arctic Circle. Now
For
afterwards,
real.
we're going to head to Saltstraumen to witness one of the world's largest whirlpools. Now located about a 3-hour ferry ride from the Lofoten Islands, Saltstraumen is a natural wonder with over 110 billion.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Get one of those like inflatable boat things. Be flying down. Hear me? You can get what I'm saying. One of those inflatable rafts. Just go flying down that thing, or even like a jet ski. Okay, yeah. That'd be
million
fun.
gallons of water passing through the strait every 6 hours, making it one of the strongest currents in the world. One of the coolest features of Saltstraumen is the whirlpools that the changing tides make. While they aren't whirlpools that you'd imagine from movies, these whirlpools can get over 33 feet in diameter with a depth of 16 feet when the current is at its strongest. You can take a boat ride through the current or can witness the whirlpools from the ridge above. For our final destination, we're going to visit the magical island of Senja. Senja is located above the Arctic Circle and is Norway's second largest island. The reason I wanted to go to Senja was I wanted to hike to this sea mountain called Segla. So I drove to this town called Fjordard and got to the base of the hike, eventually made it to the top and was just baffled by the views. The rock formation rose hundreds of meters out of the ocean. I was just having the time of my life and I decided,
oh hell no.
Base of the hike, eventually made it to the top and were just baffled by the views. The rock formation rose hundreds of meters out of the ocean. I was just having the time of my life.
Okay. You really risked your life just to get that shot, didn't you, bro? Okay. Respect. I respect it.
I wanted to spend the night on top of the mountain so I could see the northern lights. All I had was a blanket and I used my camera bag as a pillow. I set up camp on a mossy cliff ledge and waited for the
My man rolls a little too much in his sleep and he's gone.
northern lights to show up. Around 11 p.m. I awoke to the aurora borealis above my head.
Sweet.
I mean, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. They moved surprisingly fast, like snakes in the Arctic sky. Now seeing the lights made me feel like a kid again and will forever
He's won in life. This guy's won.
Be one of the most special nights of my life. Sometimes you don't need to fall asleep to start dreaming. Well, that is it for my Norway Top 25. There are endless beautiful places in Norway, and I plan to go back next summer to discover even more, so expect a part 2. Let me know where your favorite...
Look at that shit! What the hell? What the hell?
place in Norway is in the comments below. I also have a relaxation channel where I make hour-long films to bring some peace and nature in your life. I did a video on Norway that I think you'll enjoy.
I need to start playing those in the background of my TV so y'all can like have something cool to look at.
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at shirley.films. It's Ryan, and we will see you later.
Dude, that's dope. Yo, immediate like, subscribe, click the bell. If y'all like, do the same for me. But like, that's Norway. You win. Norway, y'all. I don't think any country is gonna top Norway's like crazy views. Unfortunately, I don't want to live somewhere that's cold as fuck. Otherwise, low-key, I might consider it. Because what the hell? Yo, Norway, you win. Listen, give me a fat-ass like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, click all. What the hell? Bye.